So we're getting some estimates on what Indiana Jones is going to actually pull in for its box office opening. And a lot of these outlets are saying around 60 million. And that's pathetic. I mean, that's not good for this movie. I'm going to go over this report, but I want to make it clear that this is one of the most expensive movies ever made. Okay? This movie cost a lot of money to make. A lot of money to make. It needs to make a lot more than 60 million in its opening weekend. Now, this is just domestic. We don't know what it's going to make internationally. It could be a massive hit internationally. Fast X was. That 60 million opening, that's about what Fast X made here in the States. But internationally, it got saved. It made all of its money internationally. And that could happen for Indiana Jones. It's possible. I'm not so sure, though. I'm not so sure. Because a lot of the reviews that came out a month early, by the way, which was, I don't understand why they did that. Like, they were proud of this movie. These confirmed a lot of the rumors. Look at that, 40% with top critics. And I'm not going by what critics say, and usually I don't. But I've been following this movie, and these rumors confirmed a lot of the problems that we knew that this movie was going to have, like Phoebe Waller-Bridge being the star and him being kind of the joke of the movie and her being set up to be the real hero so that they could continue the franchise with her. That's exactly what they're doing with this movie, and I don't think that's going to sit well with Indiana Jones fans, him being the joke of the movie and her being set up as the queen, the new star. Using him to push someone over isn't going to be as successful as Kathleen Kennedy thinks it's going to be, which is funny because she's done it like 30 times now, and it never works out. But hey, try it again. I'm here to make the content. So they've got this $60 million opening. This is a disastrous joke if this is true, because don't forget the next week it's going to have a percentage drop. So I really doubt this movie is going to have legs like a Mario or a Spider-Verse too. So this could be a spectacular car wreck. It needs to make a lot of money. The budget is at $294.7 million. Now, you need to take into account that this movie also has a huge marketing budget, and that $60 million that they make, like 50% of that, or maybe 40% of that, is going to go to the theaters that are playing the movie. So that's disastrous. That's why they need to make like $800 million. This movie needs to make like $900 million to make its money back. And that's a fact. And I don't think that's going to happen. Given the track record of Lucasfilm, and we all know it, we've all talked about it, we've all discussed it, I highly doubt this is a good movie. This movie is probably a gigantic turd. Kathleen Kennedy has her hands all over it. This was her baby. She was heavily involved in this movie. That's why Steven Spielberg was fired. Or no, excuse me, he walked away. Probably didn't want to take orders from his coffee girl. So here's what they're saying. Dial of Destiny's 3-day is down from the 100.1 million 3-day of the last movie, 2008's Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of Crystal Skull, and the latest sequel reps the final for the entire franchise. Crystal Skull opened on a Thursday over a Memorial Day weekend, earning a total of 151.9 million, which was good for that movie because that movie didn't have any stigma attached to it other than, well, why are we getting another Indiana Jones? But people were excited for that movie. I don't feel the excitement for this one, really, because of the fact that that movie sucked. And, well, Lucasfilm hasn't done that well. Don't forget, I think like the next week after this movie comes out, or 2 weeks after Mission Impossible comes out, that movie is going to bury Indiana Jones. It's going to bury it well under 6 feet. So here's what they're saying. Some are saying a $70 million start for Dial of Destiny. That's quite a stretch. Realize Lionsgate's John Wick Chapter 4 opened to $73.8 million with double the tracking metrics that Dial of Destiny is showing here. Now, that's what's funny, okay? You can't compare this movie to John... Well, they're doing it for the opening weekend, but that's a successful opening for John Wick because John Wick had a small budget. This movie has a massively over-bloated budget, which is what's going to screw it. Big time. Disney will need to pick up the slack in the coming weeks in their marketing to get more interest from younger guys. Their distraction now being Spider-Man Across the Universe, or Spider-Verse, in theaters in the upcoming The Flash on June 16th. However, that hard word of mouth out of the cans is quite the hurdle. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of Crystal Skull, which wasn't beloved by many, settled at 77% certified fresh and a B cinema score versus the previous 1989 installment, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which earned 84% fresh. With a Dial of Destiny at a $60 million 3-day, that's easily the second best start for the Indiana Jones franchise in the box office era. Now they're saying I hate this shit when they do this. So they're comparing this to Last Crusade, which had a 29.3 million 3-day, right? It was back in the 70s or the 80s. When did that movie come out? 29.3 million. Let's adjust that for inflation and take a look at these numbers. Comparing it to the older movies is a joke. Okay. 1981's Raiders of the Lost Ark. You can't compare these movies. You need to adjust these numbers for inflation because that makes it look like it's going to blow those movies away. That's not true. So this movie's a disaster. It's going to lose money, I think, for sure. I don't think this is a good movie. I think it's going to be a stinker. And it's going to be funny to see the reactions. I guess it's really going to depend on how Flash does, and WB is doing some genius marketing by not having Ezra Miller in anything. If you look at the marketing for this movie, it's all Batman, which is smart because Batman is the only reason I would want to see this movie, is just to see Michael Keaton as Batman again. I really could give a shit about Ezra Miller. I don't like him. A lot of people don't. This is going to be a real test when this movie comes out, too, because do people remember the things that he did? And will it affect the movie? I don't think it will, but I really hope I'm wrong. I would like the people to look at the crazy stuff that guy did and say, wow, I don't want to support him. But we'll see. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments below. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed, hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my Locals.